We're here for day 2 of Half Step, and it's time to quilt, and I'm very excited about this one. It's all bright and colorful, and I actually am going into this one. I have a plan for it. So with this one, I was kind of thinking about it towards the tail end of our clearance sale. I was looking for a batik backing that would really mesh with it well, but none of the colors were kind of just jumping out at me, and I needed 4 yards for the backing because this quilt finishes at 60 by 60. And so I was kind of looking around. I wanted something bright and fun and happy and cheery. And so I found this. This is an Andover print. It's not a batik, but it's happy, it's fun. And if I end up doing the pink binding on the edge, I think it's gonna go really well. And even if I do the yellow on the edge, I think it's still gonna go really well. So I've got to figure out if I've got a piece of batting big enough or if I have to do a couple little scrappages. And then I'm going to load it on my long arm with probably yellow thread. I think that's gonna be the most neutral. I could do a pink, but I don't really want the pink to take over completely. So I'm leaning towards the yellow whisper that I used on something else. Oh, my checkerboards. I used it on my checkerboards recently. And so that's what I'm thinking about using as at least my top thread. And I wanna use the loop pattern because I feel like it looks like thread kind of sewing and looping and going all over. And since we've got such a sewing theme here, I think that's gonna be the way to go. So I've gotta go piece my back, do my batting situation, and then meet you over at my long arm. Basted in. I've got this yellow whisper on top, and then I've got a pink thread as my bobbin. And for our design, I've got loop all set up. I've got about, what, 8-inch height, so hopefully we'll fit 2 of those zones in there. So let's get this quilted. So I have to say, I really like how this turned out at that 8-inch-ish scale. And then the backing is here. Okay, so I successfully used up 1 spool of that thread, and this thread is getting closer to being run out. So now I've just got to lay this out, trim it up, and then decide which binding color I'm going to use. So wish me luck. now, after all that Project Jelly Roll goodness, the half step quilt is complete. So Project Jelly Roll 2023 completed in National Sewing Month 2024, but it just looks so good. I think it was nice to do that loop the loop at that smaller scale. I think I did it about 8 inches because then I could fit 2 rows in my like 17-ish inch safe area, and it kind of brought it all together. I did the yellow whisper on the front, and I think it was pink rose on the back. I know this backing is a little wild, but it's fun. And so with that, I kept going back and forth on my binding. Do I do yellow? Do I do pink? And as I mentioned before, I went with a flange binding. So I did the pink on the outside with a yellow kind of inset. You can't really see it much on this guy, but when it's up against these other ones, you get that nice little pop of yellow that kind of just gives it a little something extra, and it all comes together. So if you've made it this far, my question for you, and I know I've had this conversation with my coworkers, do you feel like if your fabrics are batik on the front, you have to have batik on the back, or minky on the back obviously is the other option, but are you a batik purist? Does it have to, if it's batik on the front, is it batik on the back, or do you not care? I don't care what Quilt Police says. What is your opinion? And so with that, I'm going to take this outside. We're going to get some quilt photos and be on to the next super fun project this month.